My stepmother-in-law ignores my parenting instructions. She regretted it instantly.
Boom. How do you like me now?
My husband is the only child from his parents' marriage. After his parents divorced, his dad remarried. His mom did not. When his dad had kids with his new wife, my husband was treated very poorly by this woman. By the way, this comes from KGirl08 on the OK Storytime subreddit. So her kids were angels and could do no wrong, and my husband was always the bad seed. When I dated my husband, I heard the stories and honestly just thought she really couldn't be that bad. Boy, was I wrong, because she had always looked down upon my husband and thought he was beneath her. That meant, as the woman who married him, I must be beneath her too. Things weren't too bad until we started having kids. And then her entitlement began, and so did her comments. She constantly commented on how bad we were as parents and how we didn't dress or feed our kids properly. She was very hard on me that I was unable to breastfeed my kids. I tried, but just couldn't produce enough milk. Told me that I was so terrible that my kids were raised on formula and how something must be wrong with me if I couldn't produce enough milk and my kids were going to suffer because of it. I would literally never want to be around this person ever.
Get him out of there.
This woman would constantly talk about how well her children had turned out and how much of an excellent mother she was. They didn't turn out well at all, and she wasn't that great, and how we would be better parents if we just listened to her and did what she said. In fact, when our second child was born and we told her what his name was, she didn't like it. She proceeded to tell us that we picked an awful name and she would call him by his middle name. I put my foot down and told her that if we wanted to call him by his middle name, we would have named him that. I said his name is this, and that is what we will be calling him, and then dared her to say another word. Yes, this woman really exists. She is so bad that I only refer to her as the woman who was married to my father-in-law. Also, our first son is autism, and although we knew he was different, we didn't find out exactly about his condition until he was older. Because of this, when he got old enough to remove his clothes and diapers, he would. No matter where he was, he would always end up as a jaybird. As a baby and toddler, it wasn't too much of an issue when he would take off his shirts and pants, but it was a big deal when he would remove his diaper. Imagine chasing a 1-year-old around with a diaper and hoping he didn't make a mess before you could catch him. It was exhausting. I finally resorted to using duct tape. Yes, you heard that right. I started using duct tape. Now,
That's
before
funny.
you get upset, I didn't wrap the duct tape all the way around him. I would put the diaper on him snug enough he couldn't push it down, but not too tight, and then tear off 2 small pieces of the duct tape and place each piece over each of the diaper closures. The duct tape would prevent my son from unfastening the diaper and getting out of it. Now you can imagine that the woman who was married to my father-in-law took offense to this. She would just go on and on about how horrific it was that I did that, and that it was bad enough to be considered child abuse, and how I was letting my white trash show. Now on to the story that happened 16 years ago when my son was a year old. He's now 17, and this is one of his favorite stories. The cast. Me, as me, of course. My husband will be hubby. My son will be son. Father-in-law will be father-in-law. And woman who is married to my father-in-law is, you guessed it, Karen. Hubby answered the phone one day, and I could tell that he was talking to his dad. After hubby hung up, he let me know that we had been invited/ordered to come over for a visit. Father-in-law had installed some brand new expensive carpet for Karen in their house, and she was wanting to show it off. I was looking to get out of the house, and we don't usually stay too long, so I figured it wouldn't be a big deal, and so we decided to go for a visit. So we grabbed the diaper bag, which contains the duct tape, some toys, a few snacks, and juice, and headed out. When we got to the house, we were instructed to wipe our shoes on the welcome mat and asked to remove them before entering the house if there was too much dirt that the welcome mat couldn't handle. We went inside, and I can see the very nice carpet that was installed. It wasn't exactly white, but it was very light, and I could tell it was very expensive, and mentally notated, jokingly, that if I had this carpet in my house, I wouldn't let people wear shoes either. We put our stuff down, take a seat, and put my son on the floor, who proceeded to feel the soft carpet, and Karen was smiling very smug because she could tell how much son was enjoying the softness of the carpet. She proceeded to inform us that no food or drinks were allowed in the living room, and that if son wanted his juice again, he would have to drink it in the kitchen. Again, this was a nice carpet, and I had no problem with this because I wouldn't want people eating/drinking on my carpet either if it was this expensive. Anyways, After being there about 20 minutes, I started feeling a headache coming on, and I didn't bring any Excedrin with me. Father-in-law offered me some aspirin, but that never helps when I get a headache. I told father-in-law that I could just run down to Walmart, which is less than a mile away, and I would get some Excedrin and we would be fine. Hubby was going to drive me, and so we started to pack up Son. It was at this point, father-in-law and Karen encouraged us to leave him. They said we were just going down the road, wouldn't be gone long, and they didn't mind at all watching Son while we were gone. Do you know where this is going?
I have an idea, but I don't know. I don't know for sure.
We relented, and I told Karen that Son shouldn't be any problems because we had fed him before we came over. Juice is in the diaper bag along with the duct tape, but he had a dry diaper on, so he was happy and should be no trouble. She said she wasn't worried and that they would look after him. Now, on our way to Walmart, I asked hubby if he thought Karen would change Son's diaper because she doesn't like him wearing diapers with duct tape on them. And hubby said she probably would.
Okay. Yeah,
there?
Yep. That's what I figured. But I'm really excited for this.
I told him that I would be very upset if she did because that would be a waste of a good diaper and they're expensive. So we get to Walmart, go to the pharmacy area, get some Excedrin and pay and leave more quickly than I had expected. We got back to father-in-law's after being gone for about 20 minutes. Even after 16 years, I can remember the scene like it was yesterday as we entered the house. So if you're from an older generation from the South, you'll understand what it means when you say someone is having the vapors. For everyone else, let me explain. Having the vapors is similar to a meltdown, only more dramatic. It involves dramatic, heavy in and out breathing, almost like a panic attack, but bad acting, fake-like. And the very overly dramatic head gestures of fanning yourself with both hands very quickly, all at the same time. We walked in the door and I can hear Son down the hall screaming. Not in panic, more like a scream you hear when someone is being chased playfully.
Oh my goodness.
And Karen is on the couch having the vapors in such a way that I considered it an Oscar-winning moment. I then look down at the very nice, light, and expensive carpet, and I can see a yellow line that started near one area of the room where a pile of Son's clothes and diapers were, and followed it around the room and down the hall. It also included smudges of brown, and I instantly knew what would happen.
Ooh.
Exactly what I thought.
Ooh.
As I thought. Shouldn't have taken that duct tape diaper off.
Yeah.
That's your fault, girl.
Ready to call CPS? Is that what's happening?
Yeah. Father-in-law was trying to chase Son down, who thought he was playing a game of chase, and Karen was half screaming over her ruined carpet in between her dramatic gasps. I just glared at her and said, "I see you put a new diaper on him. You knew the duct tape was in the diaper bag." Hubby, there was nothing wrong with the diaper he had on. Karen breathlessly, "Look at my carpet. It's ruined. He ruined my new carpet." Father-in-law to Karen, trying to calm things down. "He didn't do it on purpose. He's a baby." Me.
True.
"It's your own dang fault. You shouldn't have taken him out of his diaper. If he actually needed a diaper change, then you should have used the duct tape." Karen, mad. "I'm not going to use duct tape on him. He doesn't need it." Me.
Well.
Dramatically gesturing with my hands at the entire stained area. "Then this is what you get."
That's so silly because
So
the duct
silly.
tape wasn't like on his skin or
No,
anything.
it was
just,
two pieces of small duct tape just holding the sides.
just on the actual diaper.
On the
It's just-
actual diaper.
it's
It's
not
not
hurting
wrapped
him.
around him at all.
Yeah, not even like up half on the diaper, half on his skin.
No.
Like that's not a big deal at all.
Not a big deal at all.
And
you get what you get.
there we go.
If you're going to make a fuss about something, then you have to deal with the consequences.
Exactly.
I turned to pick up Son, who was blissfully unaware of the issue at hand and was kind of upset the father-in-law had quit chasing him. I grabbed the diaper bag and Son and headed to bathroom to clean him up, put a new diaper on him with the duct tape, and didn't bother putting a shirt or pants on him because I wanted to leave ASAP. But we never want you to leave us. So go listen to full episodes with stories like this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app, and just search up OK Storytime. But there is a little bit left to the story.
All right.
By the time I was finished and entered the living room, Karen was half crying and half yelling. Hubby had picked up the previously discarded clothes and other items we had bought and was waiting by the door, and father-in-law was trying to clean the carpet before any stains set in. I headed straight to the door with Son on hip and diaper bag over my shoulder and announced we would not be coming back. We made it to the car, put Son into the car seat who was trying to get his diaper off, and started to drive home. Hubby couldn't stop smiling. He was so proud of Son son for just being him, and that Karen was dealt a dose of instant karma. I have to admit that I was proud of son too, and couldn't hide my smile any more than hubby could. What a happy ending.
I love that.
Great stuff.
Not even like a revenge story.
No, it's just a kid being a kid.
Just a kid being a kid, and the
And
crazy
people getting
parents getting what they get. Yeah.
But that is the end of that story. So we're going to get into the next one.